know. Them the one they use them figure out hair. They want them to cut them hair and trim them back. Them the one they use them figure out. Me tell them about the seed with them a song. It also far I keep Selassie, you know. Them the one they use them figure out hair. They want them to cut them hair and trim them back. And when they use them all in out, them don't end. And when they use them all in out, them don't end. And when they use them all in out, them don't end.
Yeah. What up, people? Ranks, Chronicles. We back, man. We back. Figure this evening I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Not gonna do the passport bros type thing and all that type of stuff. Just gonna kind of focus a little bit on like the dynamics between male and female, men and women, how men react to women, how women should react to men, that type of stuff. So it's not a guy I've been following. I pay attention to him. I be listening to him. I look at some of his videos and stuff. Some of you guys may know of him or heard about him or seen a couple of videos with him or whatever. But this dude's very, very intelligent dude, man. He's very controversial as well. I watch a lot of controversial people. So yeah. Anyway, this is Jordan Peterson. Not a serious guy, man. He stands 10 toes in his beliefs. So far as a male-female dynamic, the way men and women should react to each other, the way we should conduct ourselves, the things that women do, the things that men do, just the differences and the stuff that men and women seem to be confused about nowadays, and it really needs to be a lot of clarification with what's going on, because people got it confused, man. It's like I don't know if I don't know how society gets so far gone with relationships and stuff to where they feel like people can't figure it out. People can't even seem to have the basic idea of boy meet girl, boy kiss girl, or boy hold girl hand right off into the sunset, start a relationship, become partners, whatever, intimate, whatever. That don't even exist no more. It's like a whole new form of dysfunction so far as relationships and where that kind of stuff goes. So let me go ahead and get into Jordan and see what he's talking about. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started and do this. All right, let's go. Do that. Do this. Yeah, I know this is a process, so you already know. All right, here we go. Jordan Peterson.
The image of female perfection to motivate themselves. And that's exactly right. That's precisely what they do. You see that in the Tom Sawyer story. So Tom Sawyer is about 12 years old, and he's still hanging around with his friends like Huck Finn. And this girl moves across the street, Becky, and she comes out, and he's struck by her for the first time in his life. Something's changed. And the first thing he does is hop up on a picket fence and show off and balance in front of her. And he's saying, well, look at me. He's like the male.
Yep. That sounds about right. That's the simplicity of men and women and male and female, quite as a scale. Women don't understand. I don't think females understand that men really do a lot of stuff. Almost everything men do, most of what men do is to attract women. It's to attract the opposite gender, the female. You know what I mean? So you see what he's talking about, Tom Sawyer? Yeah, it's like growing up as a kid in Guyana, when dudes act like that, like Tom Sawyer, see the little girl and he's like, oh man, he got to get her attention. So he started to balance. He hop up on the fence and stuff and started to balance, like, he trying to, like, hey, look at me, look at what I can do, look at what I can do. So, it's like, yeah, you're just looking for attention. You know what I'm saying? But, it's just trying to get an attraction. But let's continue.
Bowerbird building something beautiful so the female will approve of it. And it's motivation. And that's something that I think modern women don't really understand about men. They don't understand that, at least to the degree that males are uncorrupted and not bitter because of being rejected, they're doing everything they can to kneel before the eternal image of the feminine and try to make themselves worthy. That's the chivalry story, right? That's what you should encourage in your partner. So out of chaos emerges this first form. It's the feminine form. It's partly the form that represents novelty as such. So, on one hand, it's promise, on the other hand, it's threat. You wouldn't believe, and I don't know, because I don't know. I don't understand the situation with women as well as I understand the situation with men, obviously, being a man. I don't know if women have any idea how paralyzing they are to, especially young men. Very large number of my clinical clients, but also young men I've talked to in general, are absolutely terrified of women because they're terrified of being rejected.
Yeah, man, that's real talk. Most young dudes, until they develop some kind of game or some kind of know how to like approach women and even like look at women, it's like most dudes are terrified, man. You know what I'm saying? Women think they're the ones that shy and gotta blush and gotta thing. For the average dude that's a novice, he's scared as shitless to like even let a girl see him looking at her. Like, he look at her and he turn away and act like teedly diddly diddly, like he doing something else or whatever. But yeah, dudes, like the real shy dudes that don't really have no game, no nothing. Yeah, men are terrified of women, man. So far as like the approach and trying to break the ice and trying to get their attention and trying to get them to talk to them. Most dudes are afraid up until they grow out of it or they, develop some kind of remedy or whatever, whatever it is. But yeah, man, that's real.
And the terror exists in precise proportion to the retraction to the woman, which is a horrible paradoxical situation to be in. It's often why men make such fools of themselves in front of women that they're attracted to. It's because, first of all, they don't see the woman that they're attracted to. Because what the hell do they know about her? They don't see her as an individual. They see her as the manifestation of a judgmental ideal. And then it's only in establishing the relationship with the actual woman that they...
That's a hell of a way to describe it, a manifestation of a judgmental ideal. Damn, Jordan. Sheesh. All right. I gotta keep that one on deck.
Are differentiating between the judgmental ideal and the actual individual woman. And that also requires a sacrifice. And the sacrifice is, you never can have an ideal woman. So to have a relationship with any woman, you have to sacrifice the relationship with the ideal woman, and you have to see the individual woman and separate her from the ideal. And that's the same thing that happens to the hero in Sleeping Beauty, right? He sees the evil queen who actually turns into the dragon of chaos. And it's not until he can defeat her that he can establish a relationship with the actual princess. That's exactly the case. I had one of my clients who ran this men's group, which was quite interesting. One of the things they had the initiates do, which was very intelligent, was to go out and ask 50 women in one day for their phone numbers. Why? Politely, properly, it was a game, but it wasn't a stupid game. And the idea was, get over your fear of rejection. And how...
Yeah, that's a big thing for dudes, man. Big thing for dudes. A lot of females seem to think that all dudes are just macho, and dudes are just, dudes can just run up to women. Most dudes are scared shit to approach women, yo. You know what I'm saying? Most guys are scared, and I think, like he said, most of all is that they're scared of the rejection. They're scared they might get turned down. They're scared they might get laughed at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, most dudes are like terrified and shit. So yeah, man, like especially nowadays, yo. Because nowadays, back when I was younger in my 20s and shit, it was a little different. We ain't had all this access to all this fast social media, all this everything quick, all this short attention span, all this stuff that people just want instant gratification. We didn't have that when I was in my teens and early 20s. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit, it's like you had to kind of grow balls real quick and man up and just approach. But now with social media, I think it's some might say it's easier because they can just text, or they just communicate via text. They ain't really gotta approach a person in person. But it's easy in that sense, but it's also easier to get rejected too, because the opposite sex, either man or woman, they ain't even gotta talk to you before they reject. They can just reject you without even having a physical conversation with you. You can be rejected. So it's like a double-edged sword. But yeah, man, this shit is real. Most dudes are terrified to approach women and talk to women, believe that.
How do you do that? But
A lot of people don't know this, but if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you could be using it to make upwards of $10,000.
We not gonna do that. We're gonna skip that.
Come here, check this out. Check this
Yeah,
out.
and then we gotta run some ads, but y'all already know how it is, man. Hopefully, my channel get to the point where I have ads on my
by
channel.
encountering it continually and continually and continually, so that you're no longer paralyzed by this. The degree to which the terrible part of the world manifests itself in your life is proportionate to how insufficient you are. And we don't know the full extent of that. If you got your act together completely, maybe all the suffering would disappear from your life. Or at
Facts.
least maybe all the unbearable suffering. And
Facts.
maybe all the suffering or the unbearable suffering from the lives of people around you too. And you already know that because there are people that you'll go to in a crisis that you can rely on, and you know they'll help you. And you wonder what the world would be like if you were like that and everyone else was like that too. We'd have a lot fewer crises, and the ones that we do have would be a lot more manageable. And so when people say, well, why is the world so rife with suffering? One answer to that is because we're not yet what we could be. And at least that's an answer that we have some control over, right? You're not going to negotiate directly with Mother Nature, but you might be able to put yourself together a little bit and see if that works. At least it's under your control.
Yeah.
Well, here's the decomposition of the fundamental archetype. The dragon of chaos differentiates, on the one hand, into the feminine. That's the unknown. And the feminine differentiates further into the negative feminine and the positive feminine.
Yeah.
The negative feminine is the reason for witch hunts. It's the reason for, there's a whole group online called Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW. It's a very interesting group to go study.
Yeah, I gotta tighten up on that men going their own way stuff too, cause I got an interest in all this stuff, man. The whole dynamic, like I say, with the male, female, Yeah, I got a lot of interest in this, but he's right, man. The whole witch hunt thing is like that negative, evil, feminine side that if we want, we can really call it like the whole feminist. A lot of that stem from that type of whole, the negative female stuff. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the matriarchy and the patriarchy and men want to rule over women, and it's a whole nother topic, y'all. Y'all already know that's a whole nother topic, but let me do a little bit more.
There's lots of them. I don't know how many of them there are, and most of them are older. Many of them are men who've been through a particularly horrifying divorce for one reason or another, and they've had enough of women. So they tell the young men that they're teaching, never have a permanent relationship, never share your territory with a woman, never share your possessions, make sure you never live together, and don't stay with one long enough to enter a common law relationship because you'll be stripped of everything that you have. Because we did a research project a year ago trying to figure out if there was such a thing as political correctness from a psychometric perspective, to find out if the loosing, aggregation of beliefs actually clumped together statistically. And we actually found two factors, which I won't go into, but then we looked at things that predicted adherence to that politically correct creed, and there were a couple that were surprising. One was being female was a predictor. The personality attributes associated with femininity, so that would be agreeableness and higher levels of negative emotion, were also both independent predictors, but so were symptoms of personality disorder, which I thought was really important, because part of what I see happening is that I think that women whose relationship with men has been seriously pathologized cannot distinguish between male authority and competence and male tyrannical power. They fail to differentiate because all they see is the oppressive male. And they may have had experiences that their experiences with men might have been rough enough so that differentiation never occurred, because it has to occur. You have to have a lot of experience with men, and good men too, before that will occur. But it seems to...
Yeah, that is true, man, because a lot of women actually had so many messed up relationships with men that they legit have this disdain towards men, to where they feel like men just want to rule over women, like they, hardcore within their gene, their being, feel like, yo, can't do no man, you know what I'm saying? To hell with men, it's F men, we don't need no man, like they go hard on that. But yeah, man, this I'm gonna let it go, man. But y'all get the gist of it. So my main man Jordan right there, he y'all need to go follow him, man. He be on his stuff too. You know what I'm saying? He be on his stuff because he don't play. He stand 10 toes on what he believe in. But yeah, it's like I said, a lot of women don't understand how terrified men are of women and approaching women and trying to interact with women. So they've, for the most part, women feel like men got it so easy. Men can just approach women and men can just run over women and do what they want to do. That's not the case. That's far from the case. You know what I mean? That's so not it. So just so you guys know, man, as a female, most us men, we're terrified until we grow past the stage of, being able to knock down them walls and become vocal and try to interact with women. Most men are scared shitless. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, man, we gonna wrap this one up with that. And on that thought, so I'm gonna have to do some more Jordan Peterson because he's serious with it. Y'all go ahead and follow him, man. Just type him in YouTube. Y'all already know what to do. Drop a comment, give a like or whatever. Analyze this, and we can do some more of these, man. Eventually, I'm gonna try to start doing. If my channel really kick off a kind of way, not if, when my channel really kick off, I'm gonna start doing some live streams, interact back and forth. We can have discussions, whatever. Yeah. Probably start doing some video calls, like what is it? Like the little, what you call it, Zoom call type stuff. I'm gonna try to get into all that, man. But that's for another day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go out with this one, man. I'm catch y'all at the next one. All right. Later. God.